Yeah, I see there's already a question. Yes, Mr. Esomaki. Yes, please. I see there's one question here. Please, for anyone with question, this is the time. Marina, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay, so as I said, good morning everybody to the CivilCAD, ZWCAD civil training. This will be the first day. I hope it will be successful. We will be here for around 2 hours. I will try my best to convey all the knowledge which I can to share with you about the product. Just to understand, first of all, let me just greet everybody. Mr. Esomaki, do you hear me? Architect Esomaki or Arch Esomaki? No. What about 8910303? Can you hear me? Eight 8910303. Can you hear me? Mr. Adamo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. I suppose Miss or Mrs. Doreen, can you hear me, please? Doreen, Madam?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you. Good morning. Mr. or Mrs. Gal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Majed? Mr. Majed, can you hear me, please? Mr. Majed? Mr. Majed Huri, can you hear me, please? Okay. Mr. Abdul Lawal, good morning. Are you there? We cannot hear you. Mr. Lawal, we cannot hear you. Madame Sagi? Tal Sagi. Can you hear me?
Lawal is here. Lawal is here.
Good morning. You can off your video for you to, the audio would be better.
I can hear you, Shlomi.
Okay.
Okay.
So, still some people were here, but now, yeah. So at least most of you can hear me. We'll give one more minute and then we'll start. All right, so we are starting. We are starting now. So again, welcome everybody. I will share my screen just to share the agenda with all of you. Do you see my screen? Mr. Majed, do you see my screen?
Yes, I see it now. I can hear you now. Good morning, all.
I can hardly hear you, Mr. Majed, but I understand that you see my screen, so thank you and good morning.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is the agenda for today. This is what we're gonna do. Today we will not go deep inside roads, but we talk generally knowing more the system and know more about contour lines. Why it's so important? Contour line is the basis for everything. All the sections, quantities, design that we are doing, topography lines, we are actually creating a 3D surface which uses us for everything that we are doing. So it's essential that we will control and dominate how we do the surface, which is actually the contour lines. I hope this is clear. So let me show you what we intend to do today. First of all, we start with introduction to know how the system. By the way, very important, some of you know the system, some of you are expert in the system, some of you maybe this is a new session for you in the system. It's not so important. I would try to bring all of us to the same level, but on the other hand, I would try to go and to achieve as much as possible. So please bear with me. We will have practices. It's important that you practice. We start with introduction to the system. What is a no-name? What is a prototype? What is the set of files that consist of a project, or the project consists of a set of files? How do we do general configuration? And how do we arrange folders, and which folders can we find the software itself? We'll go to the topography coordinates editor. How do we enter coordinate? How do we load the coordinate? How we pick coordinates from the drawing and put them in the list, and vice versa. We'll go how to use codes. I will explain later how to read from a text file, or in our case, CSV file, which is actually a text file of Excel. And then we'll see how to manipulate a list of points together as a block. We'll go to topography contours. We create contours. We understand the concept of 3D surfaces. We'll add point, we change elevation, we recreate contours. Then we'll do a small study that will show you what we call the low border problem and how to overcome it, how to define the border. We'll go into a term named breakline. We'll understand what breakline means, where it's coming from, how do we do breakline, how do we save breaklines, how do we create breaklines. Then we'll continue with the topography contours with a much bigger file, and we talk more about borders and method names, maximum interpolation names. We'll end up this training by something that we call filtering. Filtering is a method where you don't have a text file, you don't have data, you don't have breaklines, but maybe you have a DWG, a drawing file, and now can you extract the data from the DWG, convert your 3D surface, and continue working. I hope I'm not too fast. I hope I'm not too fast. I hope all of you can hear me. Just as a quick feedback, let's start with Gal. Gal, am I too fast or is it okay?
It's okay.
Same for Esomachi. Can you understand? Can you follow up? Mr. or Mrs. Esomachi. Esomchi. Can you follow up? Okay, for you for now, I see you don't have a mic. Right, so let's start, let's try with Dareen. Dareen, is it okay? Madame Dareen, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, all right, thank you very much. Okay, let's not waste time and go into the system. The training is built up in a way where I do the introduction or the thing on the software. Then, after doing the thing on the software, I'll give you a practice to practice it by your own. So let me start. I'm starting the system. It launches, and immediately when it launches, it start the drawing environment. I'm using ZWCAD. What is ZWCAD? Well, I'm not here to sell ZWCAD, but ZWCAD is actually AutoCAD, but a Chinese AutoCAD. So I'm using a Chinese AutoCAD named ZWCAD. In my opinion, equal or sometimes even better than AutoCAD. And believe me, I'm only 20 years in this business. But if you like, you can still use AutoCAD if you prefer. In my opinion, ZWCAD, well, not in my opinion, ZWCAD is faster and works exactly the same. So this is the advantage. Look, this is command line. If I do here a polyline, polyline, it's the same polyline. I want to see its attribute. It will be here. Sorry, let me do like this. Yeah. So you'll see the properties here. If you want to change color or layers, all the commands that you know from AutoCAD are here. All the buttons that you know, stretch, everything is here. All the menu, the ribbons. It's AutoCAD. It's actually AutoCAD. It's faster and most cost effective. So I'm introducing with ZWCAD, but you can work with AutoCAD. For me it's the same, whatever works for you. But I encourage you to work with ZWCAD. Let me continue. This is the drawing environment. What we see here is on the top. I hope you can follow my arrow. On the top, we have the menu of ZWCAD Civil, which is actually CivilCAD. CivilCAD is ZWCAD Civil. It's the same product. You see the menu of CivilCAD or ZWCAD Civil. In below, you see the toolbars. Of the CivilCAD or ZWCAD Civil. We'll learn about them. And here is your standard ACAD. ZWCAD, AutoCAD, it's the standard. Here below we have what we call coordinates editor. It's an editor. I can type in things here. We will deal a lot today with this editor, but we'll talk about it in a minute. So this is just an introduction. Very, very important. I'm working now on a project named No Name. You can see it on the caption on the top. You'll see it says the full path and it says No Name. All of you, be alarmed not to use No Name. Very important. Don't use No Name. Why? Because everything that you put on No Name, then maybe later on you'll be able to, the system will erase it and you'll not succeed to save. Don't use No Name. Every project you start with new project. So actually we have two projects which are important. One is the No Name, and the other one, we call it prototype. Prototype. So again, No Name and prototype are the most important most important projects which we have. 1 second, please. Yeah. Okay. So as I said, prototype and no name. We call them prototype.prj and no name.prj. But actually a project consists of many, many files. It consists with the PRJ file. It consists with from LOL file. It consists from TCO, DCO. It consists from a DWG that attached to the file. Let me show you. Let me minimize and see how it works. If I go to documents, so the system situates in two places. One, if you go to C, program file 86. Here it is, CivilCAD or ZWCAD Civil, depends on what you have installed. Click here. These are the files of the software itself. This is the software itself. For us, what's important is all the data which sits in documents. If I go to documents, go to ZWCAD Civil or CivilCAD, all these are data. Here you can see the no name. You see no name here? There's a lot of files for the no name. And the same goes for pipes. For prototype. Here is prototype with many, many files. How many files depends on the project. So what prototype is used for? No name is the first project that the system will open when it's loading. But for us, we want to understand what prototype stands for. What prototype stands for. So if I go to File, I can either open project prototype or go to the third here. It says open prototype. It goes directly. I say no to the no name. I've not done any changes. And now I'm in prototype. You can see on the top, I'm on prototype. If I will go to File, Configuration, File, Configuration, I can see how to set up certain configurations. For example, which drawing environment do I use? I use AutoCAD or ZWCAD. I'm using it here. I'm selecting. If I have several versions, I can use it here. I can go to drawing environment, set my default scale for the text. As you know, if you want to print at the scale of 1 to 250, you're using one type of text size. And if you are printing on 1 to 500, for example, you print on a different text height. So here is where you set it, the global scale. Once you set it up in prototype, every new project will inherit these settings, but it will not affect past work that you have done. Only new project. So again, prototype, affect new projects, which takes their settings from prototype. I'm typing in the chat if people wants to see it. Okay. Any questions so far? Please, it's an open session, everyone. You can unmute yourself freely and just talk. Any questions so far?
Yeah, excuse me, Sivan. Only one question. I didn't hear you.
Who is talking,
when you
please?
said ZW is Majd. Majd is talking.
Okay, yes, Majid.
Yeah, ZWCAD is opening AutoCAD files.
Yeah, of course, it
DWG?
works with AutoCAD file, not just open. It works native with DWG.
Oh, okay, thank you.
It's not just open AutoCAD file. It works as a native file. It means the main files of ZWCAD is AutoCAD. It's the same. I'm telling you, it's the same system faster, more stable, and more cost effective. Yeah, but let's continue. So what I did, I came here, I did my change, file, exit, save the changes, and that's it. So if you don't have any question, let me continue. Any questions so far, please? Guys, when I say guys, of course, ladies as well. Any question? No question, but I couldn't activate the ZWCAD Civil. All right. Marina will take care of the activation. Just here, write directly to Marina and ask for her to send you the activation. She will do it now on the spot. No, using CivilCAD 2016 will not work. Anyhow, take it with Marina. She's here on the chat. She can help you. Communicate with her directly. Others? Any questions? None. Good. So what I'm doing now is open a new project. File, new project. He asked me to save to no name. I said no. And I created in C a folder named projects. I will create a new folder. I will call it day one. And in day one, I will call it a P1, practice one. So what I created a designated folder for my project. It's very important. Otherwise, all your files will be scattered with other files. It doesn't damage, but the arrangement later on is more difficult. So what I'm advising you strongly is to create a different folder for each project. So I've created my own project, day one P1, and gave it a project name P1. The drawing asked me to save changes to the DWG. Said no. Yeah. So now I'm in P1. Excellent. I'm in P1. Now I'm going here to the text editor. Remember that I showed you that this is a text editor of coordinates. I'm studying it the first line where I can type and writing down point number 1, using the space to go to easting, X, 1000. Using the space again for the next one, 1000. Using the space again for elevation, 1.32. 2, 150 on 150 and 102.5. 3, 1000 on 150, 1.3.76. 4, 1050 on 1002. These are the 4 points. I press the button here. On the top, I have a button here with a rounded arrow on the top. We call it refresh. I press it, and immediately the software translates the points into the DWG. So actually, I created a square of 4 points. It's a square of 50 meter by 50 meter, which starts with its origin is in 1000 on 1000. And let's see what is the point. Let's see what is the point. It's a block. The point is a block. Let me see. If I do a list, you see it's a block with where it's the block name is inserted in a layer named Civil. The insertion point of the block is 1000, 1000 on elevation 132. 132. So actually it's a 3D block where its insertion point is in the coordinate. Actually the insertion point is where the decimal point is. So it's this one here, the small one. And the same goes here. And the same goes here, and the same goes 3 and 2. Fine, nice. How do I increase the size of the block? I don't know if you remember what we said, that our project should work with a scale of 1 to 250. So the software took 250 and create the block size with its attribute ready for 250. Ready for 250. But if I'll go here in the topography coordinates and press this button, option we call it, I see the options window where I can change and manipulate these things. And you see here, now I'm working on topography, on the coordinates, because I have many things in the topography. On my coordinates, I want that my text of my coordinates will be adequate for a scale of not 250, but 500, and I would print. Press OK, and refresh again. You saw what happened? Immediately the size changed. Let me do it again. Options, changing it, and this time I'll take it to extreme, 1 to 3000, and refresh. Okay, this is the text. In my case, I want to stay at, let's say, 500, 1 to 500. Any questions so far? I will give you time to practice, don't worry, but I'm asking whether you have any questions so far. Guys, Techno Spark 4, any question? Are you with us? Eh, 8910303, are you with us? Can you follow? Okay. Adamo, Mr. Adamo, can you hear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
No question for now.
Thank you. Rose, any question? Rose, questions? We cannot hear you. Just write me if everything is okay. Okay, I hope you can follow up. It's very important. It's very important. What I will do now, you remember I entered coordinate here, pressed refresh, and it showed on the window. Now I'll do a different thing. what I will do now, is that I will use the peak here. See, I'm going down. Everything below here in this window relates to topography coordinates. So if I'm going here to the peak, I'm pressing here. See what happened in the command line. It says me peak point, and it gives it a number, 1005. I want to call it point number 100. So I'm in the command line entering 100, and it changed. Peak point 100. I'm going to the drawing. And pick the point here. See what happened here? It created the coordinates. It gave it 100 and the coordinates. I'm putting one here and another one here. I'm pressing the refresh. Here they are, the points. Of course, in zero elevation because we didn't give anything. So again, pressing the pick here, it says in the command line, pick the next point. I'm clicking somewhere, it shows here. If I refresh, I'll see it completely. I want to change the elevation of 103. I pick it here in the list, come to it in the editor, change it to 104, and press refresh. Here it is, 104. And so on, so forth. 100. Okay, so we saw how to do pick. We saw how to do pick. We saw that there's a complete interaction between what's going on and the drawing. But I can also add something else. For example, let's say that point number 3, when I pick it in the field, I've noticed that it's a tree. It's a tree. And in my GPS or total station, I collected it as point number as a tree. I'm going to point number 3. You see the last, this column, it says code. I'm entering 60, pressing refresh. And it become a tree. See? I entered 60 here, and it became a tree. Let's do the same for 101. I know that 101 is a tree as well. 60. Sorry, 60 is it. I need to give it a height. We did 0 and 60. Here it is. It's a tree. I hope you got it. So how do I know these codes? How do I know these codes? If I go to where my data is stored, in Documents, ZWCAD Civil, you'll see that there is a codes folder. And if I go to main DWG and open it with AutoCAD or ZWCAD, it's not so important. I started a new ZWCAD. Sorry, not this one. I did a mistake. If I go to main symbols, you see? Here we are. All these are my codes. So once I will 60, where was 60? Here it is, tree. I have pine, I invert level. I have for valve. For example, 37 is a valve. Let's try it in my ZWCAD Civil, 47. I will take this point, 103, give it 47 in the code. All right, you see, it's a value. So here it is. These are the points. These are the points, these are the codes. I hope you got it. I hope you got it. And what I'm gonna do now is creating a file in a CSV, load it in the system, and continue from there. So what I'm going to do now with all of you, I'm going to share with you a file which I prepared for this specific training. This one. This is the file. Actually, so this is the file, and what I want you to do is to, all of you, to look at the file and practice it. So I'm putting it here. Here it is. Take now 10 minutes and practice the file. Marina, do you remember how to, I don't know, even if it's possible, how to share with them? Can I share with them the file? Can I send them to them? Is it like Skype? Does it allow to
Not sure.
Share a file? Send them a file.
I'm not sure. Let me check just a second.
You can attach it to the chat, Shlomi.
I can attach it to the chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now you have the file. Thank you. Now you have the file. You can download to yourself. And I'm asking all of you to take 10 minutes and practice day number 1. Take your time. Follow the instruction. If you have any questions, I'm here. Just let me know. Take your time. Please, all of you. Take the file, open it in your computer, open your system, and do it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, who is talking, please?
Gal,
Yes, please. Yes, madam.
I try to open the CWCAD and it's not work.
Okay. The
It has
ZW.
a what?
Yes, please go ahead.
It had a problem to open this. So I don't know.
The problem is from the ZWCAD or from ZWCAD Civil?
It wrote the license details don't match computer specification. Please contact support for further assistance.
Okay. Marina, can you take control offline and try to solve the problem for her?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Try to do it now so she can continue with us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. TechnoSpark 4, can you hear me? TechnoSpark 4, can you hear me? Rose, can you hear me? Rose? Oh, Miss TechnoSpark 4, we can hear you. How are you? Good morning. Hello? Hello? So let me know where you stand. Rose, did you finish the practice? Did you finish the practice 1 and succeed with it? Rose? Nothing from Rose. TechnoSpark 4. You can even write if you cannot talk. So at least I know where we stand. 89103039422. Are you succeeding? Abdul Lawal Zubair, do you succeed? Hello? Adamo?
Yes.
Okay. How is it for you so far?
For the template, we have to choose it there in the new.
Again, sorry?
The template, I'm looking for the template.
No, not template. Which template?
Because I went here to the file, new project,
Yes.
then it's looking template.
No, not template. You do a new project. You know, see the file which I sent here, the chat. Go to the chat. You'll see a file, a PDF file. Download it and follow the instructions.
Okay.
Okay? Look at the chat. Everybody, I've uploaded the file into the chat. Download it from the chat and follow the instructions inside. Let me know if you encounter a problem. Rose, what about you? Rose is not online, or she's online, but you cannot. Oh, Rose. Can you speak up, please? Oh, okay. Are you okay? You can write. Do you get it? Did you succeed to do the practice one, Rose? What about Dareen?
Yeah, I finished it.
You finished. You're okay.
Yeah.
And it went well?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, thank you. Gal, you are still on the problem. What about Majid? Majid Huri, are you okay?
Yes, it's okay, done.
Okay, done. Excellent. Alina, Gal, Adamo, Abdul. What about Somachi? Are you okay? Are you with us? Somaki, are you with us?
I can hear you.
Oh, who is talking?
SMG, I can hear you.
SMG. Okay, did you succeed?
Yes, I did.
Sorry?
Yes.
Oh, good to hear. Good. Good to see. Oh, SMG. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the wrong pronouncement of the name. What about others? Yeah, I think majority of you succeed. You know, it was quite an easy thing. Okay, I will continue. Okay, let me continue.
Hello, I don't see you online.
Sorry?
Your second to no day. Your second to no day now.
Hello?
I can't salute you.
Okay, I want to continue. Okay, so we created the points. We created the points. We saw how to create, how to read from a CSV file. And we read it inside and we saw it here. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna continue to topography contours. So all of you, please. I'm going here in the sorry. One second. I'm going here, topography, contours. And in my, and on the right, I can see a new window, topography contours window. I'm going to intervals and I key in 0.25, which is the vertical interval, and I press apply. Here it is. 4 points. The system create contour lines between my 4 points. The system create contour lines between my 4 points. Moreover, the system create a 3D surface between these 4 points. Moreover, the system created a surface between these 4 points. That means that if I take my peak, which I used before, you remember when I picked a point outside of the surface, you see it gives me x, y. But if now I go inside the surface and pick anywhere, even here, automatically I'll get the z as well. See, x, y, z. You can try it on. When I press refresh, here it is, 1006. Excellent. If I take now 1006 and change its elevation, instead of what was existing, I will change it to now 112. Press refresh and apply on the right side again. The contour line will change accordingly. I hope you succeeded to follow up. Again, I went to this point, change its elevation. This is 106. You see it here? And change its elevation to be 110.55. I'll refresh first. And then I apply again. You see, it's changed accordingly. And moreover, the surface changed accordingly. I hope you got it. Any question to what I just done? What I just did? Anyone, question? You can speak up, you can write. If not, I will continue.
Yeah, excuse me, Shlomi, just one question. How you make the surface? How you connect all this surface you make?
Topography, contours. There's a window on the right. I entered the interval, 0.25 in my case. Press apply. That's it.
Okay, how you put this one window on the right hand side, the continuous?
Sorry?
The window on the right side.
Yes, what about it?
How you open it, the continuous?
Topography, contours in the main menu.
Okay.
Topography, contours. Topography, contours in the main menu, you'll get the window on the right. You enter 0.25 or whatever you like, you press apply, and automatically you get the surface. Questions? Anything? Anyone? No questions. That's good. Now what I'll do, I'll create points here. How do I do it? I'm using the peak. And let's assume that from here, from this surface, there is a small path going this way, and I'm having points along the way. I'm having points. So the first point is, say, here, and the next one is here, and the next one here. This is one section. Next section is 1, 2, 3. Next section is 1, 2, 3. 3. Next section is 1, 2, 3. And now refresh. These are my points. Good. I measured in sections. And let's enter some elevations along. So for 1008, okay, I want to find this one. How do I quickly find it in the list? I'm using the locate here on the right side. Locate, go to the drawing, pick the point, automatically the software highlight it in the list. And now I can enter the elevation. 1008 will be 107, and 1009 will be 107.3, and 1010 will be 107 as well. And let's continue. 1011 will be 107.3, and this one will be 100. Sorry, I'll put it in. Yeah, 107.3, and this will be 107.6, and this will be 107.3 as well. Going to 14, 108.1, 108.4, 108.1. And the last one, this one, I want to delete 1007. Let me look for it. Where is it? In the list. Here it is. I'm clicking the erase here, eraser, and refresh. It was removed. Let's continue to 17. It will be 109.5, 109.7, and 109.5 again. I'm refreshing. Here are my points. I'm going to topography contours. On the window on the right, I press apply again. And then I have my contours. So see what happened. The contours here was created, but the system didn't know that we don't want to create contours here. We didn't know that this is a path. It's actually supposed to stop here. But the system also created contours here. What do we do? How do we avoid it? I will show you several ways. The first one would be to use the border. So in this topography contours window on the right, I'm clicking locate. I'm clicking locate and start marking my border. I'm starting from here, here, here. Every time that I pick a point, see, it appears here on the right, and the system highlighted in the list. Again, 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 again. When I want to finish, I press C in my command line for close and enter. And then apply. then the system limit my contours into my polygon. What I'm asking you to do now is to do the same practice that I did. You can do the practice in the document which I shared it with you. It's named Practice 2. You can also look at the elevation which I entered here, so you know which elevation to enter. So you'll have reasonable data. It's not so important, but still. So again, take 10 minutes, exactly 10 minutes, so we'll pick up with more information today. And at this point, like I did, pick, 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 and enter the elevation to this point. If you don't remember, you can use the practice 2 in the document which I sent you. Take 10 minutes, please. If you have any questions, I'm here. Gal, is your machine working now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, please continue with us. If you have questions, let me know. If not, just practice what I've done. What I did. TechnoSpark 4. Any questions? None. Rose, do you have any question? What is the meaning of a different color? This is Rose. Okay, there was a question. What is the meaning? Attention for 1 minute, everyone. I want to explain something. What the system does, it creates each interval in a color. So in this case, you see that each half a meter is in light blue. Each 25 is in dark blue, like this one. We can hardly see it. Each 1 meter is in a different blue. So these are the colors. The colors, the system creates color to differentiate the elevation. Of course, this is a small example, but you can see it here. This is 1 meter, 1 meter, 25, 25, and 50. It's in layers. So if you go to the layers in AutoCAD, you'll see. Where is it? Here it is. The system creates few layers. Tick on to 0, 1, 2, and 3. For example, if I want to change this, the 0.25 to be seen better, put it here. Okay, maybe now it's better. It's by the way, I can change this color in prototype. If I open prototype in the DWG, name prototype, change it, then every new layer will get its color from the prototype. Any new project, sorry. More questions? Did you succeed to create this small path which I created here? Did you succeed to create the borders? Mr. Majid, are you still around? Because you said you are going. Majid left us. Dareen? Where is the point? I could not locate Y. What do you mean? What do you mean? I couldn't understand what exactly.
When I make a path,
Yes.
I put locate, right? So I locate most of the points. Then when I arrive to a point, it doesn't click. I don't know why.
Can you share your screen so we try to see together? Maybe
I don't know how.
I will allow you. Allow. No, I think you can. Share screen, make host. Okay. Try to share your screen now.
Oh, share screen. Yeah.
No, it was not. It was disabled. I allowed it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to pick
Okay.
2015.
Click it.
It doesn't pick.
Okay. You know, press escape. Okay. Where is the? Okay, the point is there in your. Okay. Try to refresh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And try again. Locate.
Doesn't pick. I
Yes.
don't know why.
Go to 1016. Let's see what's happened.
The whole row maybe doesn't pick.
Yeah. You know what? Try in the. Okay. Press escape.
Okay.
Go in your list on the right side window. Try to scroll down to the end of the list.
Here?
I know. Up on the right. The list of the border points.
Yeah.
On top.
Yeah.
Yeah, here. Go to the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. And click 1012 and now try to locate. Go to locate and continue.
No, it doesn't work.
Very, very strange. What can be the problem? What can be the problem? Can you show the command line? Or press F2. You can press F2.
F2, okay.
Yeah, there's no problem here. Okay, you can close it. Try to recreate the borders. I think it's the easiest. Press X on the right. Press X on the right. There's an X. No, topography contours. Where you been?
Yeah.
On the right, there's an X on the button. There's a button with X.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, exactly.
Clear all borders.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Now
Yeah,
I'll locate again.
Yeah, let's see if it goes now.
Locate. It's the same problem at the same point.
Yeah, very, very strange. This is the first time I'm seeing something like that.
I get it. I get the idea, but I don't know why.
Yeah, no. I understand. Try to grab 1013. Yeah. Very, very strange.
Okay, I'll continue with that.
Yes.
But...
Yeah. No, you cannot pick a tree block.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Stop sharing.
Okay. No.
Okay. Okay, you need to make me a host. Doreen. Doreen?
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
You need to make me a host. Click on me on the list, on Sivan Design,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
list, on the list in participants. Click Sivan Design,
yeah.
more, and make more,
More.
and make me a
Make host. Okay,
yes. Thank you.
thank you.
How is it going for the rest of you? How is it going for the rest of you?
It's going well.
Going well, good.
Going well.
So you succeeded to do. Nobody encountered the same problem. We cannot pick a specific point. No, none.
Oh.
Okay. Doreen, when you did it, did you try by any chance to move a point with moving AutoCAD?
No, I didn't move anything. I
Because-
just pick and put the Z coordinate and I locate.
Yeah, because the only reason for the software not to do that is that if the drawing and the list are not in the exact location. So what we do usually in this situation, we go to the list itself, even hit a space or anything just to know that, to let the system know that we have done a change. And then we refresh, and then the system align the points with the drawing. This is the only way, you know, I'm thinking what can happen. But anyhow, this is the only thing that I can think of right now. Okay, so the rest of you, you have done your borders, so you saw how to fix the borders. Fine, this is very good. Now I want to talk about something, and I want all of you to have attention. And my question to you, do you need a 5 minutes break or can I continue? Do you want us to take a 5 minutes break? It's an open question to all of you.
Continue.
Continue. This is Lawal. What does a TechnoSpark 4 say that we see him? He's on audio. What do you say? He doesn't hear us. Hello, sir. Good morning. Yeah, you? Yeah, we cannot hear you. We just see your face. Do you catch up? Do you need Oh, good morning. I hope you succeed to catch up. Do you need a break or we can continue?
We can continue.
Okay. We can continue. Fine. So I'll continue. So this is where we stand. We have this coordinates here. And now I want you to listen very carefully because I'm going to talk about something very important named breaklines. Breaklines. So listen up. You have to catch it. It's essential for all of you. Whether you are a surveyor, construction company, designer, no matter what, it's very important. So please pick up, please follow. It's essential. Okay, so the issue is break lines. I hope you got the term. And let's start by explaining what break lines is. Please listen carefully. It's essential. A break line means it's a geometry problem, but the geometry problem affects what's going on in the field. Break line, we use break line to create a break in the interpolation. Now, before I'm going and explain further, let me show you something. I'm asking all of you, in the topography contours window on the right, click the show triangles. You see it here? And then press apply. See what happened. We see the triangles. We see the triangles that the system created. We see the triangle that the system created for the interpolation. And this is the entire trick. This is the surface. Actually, when we do contour lines, what the system creates is create a surface using 3 points, connect each 3 points, nearest point. For example, text 1009. What are the 3 nearest points to it? 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 10, and 1 and A1. Then the system created triangles between these points and interpolation. The interpolation creates a surface and a contour lines. This is the trick. By the way, let me remove my border and press apply. This was the problem. The system created a triangle from here to here and from here to here, because the system didn't know that in practical we want to stop the triangles here. So we have to manually tell the system, go along, and change the triangles. Fine. Now I want to talk about a problem. And I named this problem, let me remove the triangles. I named this problem, I called it the breaklines. Now, this is the edge of my path. You want to call it a road, a path, or whatever you want to call it. You see, this point here, they mark the end of my path. And let's assume from the end of this path here, there's a small cliff going along. I hope you got it. There's a small cliff going along here. What I can do, I'm using the pick and picking points. Let's assume that I surveyed the top of the cliff. So I surveyed 1 point here, 1 point here, along the cliff, 1 point here, 1 point here. I went on the top of the cliff and surveyed it. And here. This is the top of the cliff. I'll refresh it. And on the top of the cliff, to each point, let's enter the elevation here is 107, 108, 109. I will choose 1112. 1112 here, 1112. Now I want to show you a trick. Instead of going point by point, I can mark 1050, hold the shift in my keyboard and mark the last one, 1052. I marked 1050 and by the shift I mark the entire list. Then I click block here. There's a block here, I marked. What happened now? I captured all these points together as a block. It means if I go to the elevation or everywhere, and I give it a elevation, let's say 112.5, it affects the entire rows in the block. I press refresh, and I've done it. I've done it. Good. So I have all the points. Here, here, here. And now I'll tell the software, let me remove the borders because I expand the border. So the software can, and apply. See what happened now. The system does the interpolation. Oh, see what happened. Let's ignore for a minute from this side because this is the border. You know what? Let me reselect the borders. Here, 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 and close and apply. Yeah. So this is my new border. I didn't pick the right one, sorry. Again. Okay, this one, this, okay. This time around I will pick this one. Okay. Right. And this is the problem. You see what happened here? You see what happened here? This is okay. This is the cliff. This is okay. This is the cliff. But see what happened here. And the question why? Why did the software create something like this? And why did the software create something like this? Where I would expect that these contour lines would be all along showing the cliff all along. I hope you got it. The problem is what we call breakline. The problem is what we call breakline. If I'm telling the software show triangles, see what happened. See, this is the problem. You know what? It's better entertained here. See here. The points here we look, let's have a look at this point, 1051. Let's have a look at this point, 1051. It's interpolate from here directly to 108. But we want it to interpolate to, not to interpolate, actually we want it to break here, along here somewhere. Let me do a schematic thing. We don't want it to interpolate more than this. We want it to stop because we know this is the side. But the software doesn't know that. It doesn't know to stop here. So immediately it's interpolated to the nearest point. How do we solve it? We call it this problem, the breakline problem. How do we solve it? I'm going to topography, lines. And on the right, I see a window. The window consists of two parts, upper part and lower part. The upper part describe each line. Here we have the lines list, so we have only one which is empty, line number 1 which is empty. And on the top I have all the coordinates that assemble point number 1. So if I click point number line and I start defining it, I'm using the same locate trick which I used before. And my first break line will be here along the end of my road, from here to here. You see in the right, see what happened on the right. See the list of the point which I picked, the same like we did on the border. And from here to here, and here to here. I'm going along the end of my road. I can do the same to the end of the cliff, but it's not so important because actually the contours ends up here, so it's not so important. How did I did it? Locate, finish. When I finish, I press S and enter in the keyboard. Then I go again to the contours and apply. Here it is. You see? All right. We have a problem in the breakline here. We checked it in a minute. But here it is. Recreated the breakline, and the system automatically done it. Let me try again. Okay, so this is it. If I want to create another breakline, for example, a breaklines that will go from here to here, because I want, again, topography lines. I'm clicking, I'm hitting here the new line. Then it starts line number 3. I locate from here to here, S in the keyboard, and I refresh my surface in topography contours, and it's continue, and then it's continue. I want you to have a look, practice it by yourself. For this, what you need to do is to do practice number 3. So I'm asking all of you, go and do practice number 3. If you have any question, I'm here to help. But it's important, it's essential that you'll understand the concept of breaklines. So please go ahead. If you have question, let me know.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Who's talking, please?
My name is Mohammed Abba from Maiduguri, Borno
Okay,
State.
yes, please.
So please, can you gain me access to record the session if possible?
Today?
Pardon?
Access to?
I mean, I want to record the session if possible. Can you gain me access?
No, we are not recording. We are recording ourselves, and then we will distribute to all of you. You will have a recorded system at the end.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But it's important that you practice, please, guys.
All right, sure.
Take 5 minutes and practice. Do the same thing. You have it in the training. You can see it in the practice which I sent you, practice 3.
אם נראה שתפעלה וקיים דיווח על אזעקת אש בבניין. נא לפנות את הבניין באופן מסודר ורגוע. עשו שימוש בשלטי ההכוונה ליציאה מהמבנה. אין לעשות שימוש במעליות. יישארו מחוץ למבנה עד להודעה חדשה. אבקש מבקש את תשומת לבכם בבקשה. מערכת
Okay, where do you stand? Did you succeed? Did you succeed to create the break lines and you have it?
Excuse me, I know how to make a break line, but now I want to make the new border, and when I press locate, it doesn't give me anything. I couldn't locate a new border.
Completely.
Yeah, completely. When
Okay.
I press locate, then I press escape. It doesn't escape. It highlighted locate, and I couldn't escape, and I couldn't locate a border.
I want to ask you, are you using the same version which we distributed specifically for this course?
Yeah, CivilCAD 10.
No, but CivilCAD 10 has different versions. Which of the release? You know, we sent an email yesterday to uninstall and install the version.
Yeah, I have 10.2.
But 10.2 also has different releases. Did you do the uninstall and install according to the email from yesterday?
No, really, I didn't.
Okay, so this is the problem.
But I work on this versions since
Doreen,
we
but
bought it.
no, I understand. But do the uninstall and install. Specifically, it was designated for this training, so please use it. Just follow the instruction over there. You can do it for the next training. It's not important now.
Okay. I know how to do a break line.
Good. Just
So,
continue from that point. Just follow the instruction next time and just uninstall and install the version which we created specifically for the training. Very important.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Now it's explain what happened before. Yeah, so we have a break line. We have everything.
Can be forfeited.
You have any questions, guys?
Okay, those things I feel like I forfeit.
Do you have any questions? Nothing. Okay. Okay. Now a breakline, once we use it, if I go to the send topography lines, I can save the breakline as a separate file. If I press save here, I press save as a this file. It creates what we call this file. This file is a file of breaklines. So again, on the right side, I click save. I save as this file, and I call it coordinates. You know what? I will call it breaklines. Okay, I have a this file. In this case, I can use the this file in another project if I want. So for this example, what I'll do now, I will open a new project, and this will be the last session that we are doing. Sorry, we have 2 more sessions in our training. Do you need a break? Gal, do you need a break? Gal, anyone?
Yes, yes, yes.
Are you okay?
Yes, we need break.
You need, who is talking?
Muhammad is talking.
Muhammad.
Muhammad Abba.
Okay, you need a break. So, but please don't be far. We are taking 10 minutes break, exactly 10 minutes, and 12 o'clock we are starting. We have additional 20 minutes and we finish.
Okay.
And we'll finish. So please, 10 minutes. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I'm leaving it open here. In 20 minutes, in 10 minutes, we continue.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Can you give me the permission to record? Hello?
Procurement works. Procurement carried out the procurement processes, now facilities and administrative. The volume in sorry. Yeah, why? Okay, you're German. Should do. Screen level there, nice gray nam decided.
All right. So everybody, I'm back. Let's quickly, I hope all of you are around. Let's quickly go to the next thing. I hope you can hear me. Mr. Muhammad Abba, can you hear me? Mr. Muhammad Abba, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Did you succeed to follow the training?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks. And Mr. Hakim, what about you? Mr. Hakim? Nothing for Mr. Hakim. Mr. Hakim is not here. He was here in a minute ago. Adams? Mr. or Mrs. Adams? Do you follow?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. May I continue, please? Yeah. So let's start. I'm starting a new project. File, new project. And I'm calling this project P2. And in P2, I'll give it a name, project P2. Now, here in P2, I'm going down, and you remember before we read a CSV file. This time I'll read another file very similar named .reg. I'm going down, pressing the lower left button, go to Documents, ZWCAD Civil, Samples. Here I can see 35576.reg. I open it. This is the list. Press refresh and wait. Here it is. These are the points. Now I'm going to topography lines. And this time around, I'm reading a pre-ready this file. So I'm using the load here. Again, and reading 35576. Read file. I press yes. Here it is. I can see the list of points, the break lines. Now, if I go and create topography contours, let's say 0.5, press apply. See what happened. The system created the contour lines. You see exactly with the break lines and everything. But the main problem, but it's also like we had before, create a long triangles here. If I do show triangles, so the same problem that we encounter in the formally, but in a much wider area is now repeating itself here. It now repeats itself here. So what we get, you see, this long interpolation here and here, which they don't really exist. Now, of course, we can use the same method of doing locate all around, but there are hundreds of points surrounding this place, so I have a better method. What I can see that the points here are surveyed. I don't know if it was surveyed GPS, remote sensing, I mean orthophoto, whatever, but it's not so important. What is common to this interpolation is the distance. You see, the distance between here and here is very far. In fact, if what I'm telling the system is like this, each point which has a distance that more than a certain distance, don't interpolate. It means, for example, I will say 60 or 70 in this case. That means that if the distance between this point and this point is more than 70, the system will remove the triangle. Let's see what's happened. And I will apply. You see? This eliminated all the problem, all the triangles, which were very fast, very far, were removed. Okay, so we learned just now on another method of how to fix the borders. Before we did with locate, and this time around we used maximum interpolation length. What I want you all to practice it quickly. Use practice 4 on your practice document. Do practice 4. Do the same thing that I did so we can continue. Please, I'm waiting. Take 10 minutes. If anyone has a problem, let me know. Practice 4, please. Any questions? Anyone? Any questions? Any question? No questions. Okay. We are about to start the last session of today and talk a little bit about something that we call filtering. Let me share my screen. Okay. This is project. I'm going to File, New Project. And call this project P3. Listen carefully. The problem is like this. I only have a drawing file. I have a DWG. But I don't have no coordinates, no contours, nothing. And I want to extract the points from this DWG. I want to create surface and to continue my design, my whatever. I started a new project, P3. Then I'm entering in AutoCAD, I'm doing insert. Insert. And I'm selecting the DWG file which I want to use. This is the file. And I tell the software insertion point 000, scale 1. I'm not touching this, and I want to explode it. I'm marking to explode and insert. Zoom to extend. This is the drawing. This is a drawing. This is the drawing where I have points. You see the gray. These are points. But I have only DWG. Now I know that to create a 3D surface, I need points here in the list. This is something that I know, right? Someone is asking a question. Okay. Rose, you asked me to repeat from which point, please? Can you unmute yourself and tell me which point? Rose? Okay. Rose, I hope you can follow, because if you can unmute yourself, it will be the best. All over. Okay, let me do the entire thing all over. The problem, I know that I want to create a 3D surface. One which later on I create section, I can pick heights along it, I can calculate volume or whatever. For this, but I don't have the topography coordinates. Someone had surveyed it, and I only have the DWG, the drawing. How do I use it? I'm starting my ZWCAD or my ZWCAD Civil or my CivilCAD, whichever. And here, what I'm doing, is starting a new project. File, new project. File, new project. And I will call it, for our case, a filter. This is the project. And a regular project. Now, usually if I have coordinates, I can have a type them, I have them from Excel, I have a TXT file, I have a reg file, CSV, but I don't have, in this situation, I don't have. What do? I have a DWG. I'm using in AutoCAD, I'm using insert. I'm inserting a block. Actually, I'm choosing my DWG. In this case, this is my DWG. Switch to. And I'm telling the further, put it in 0, 0, 0. Actually, I'm entering the block and I explode it immediately. Let's ZWCAD finish. Okay. Here it is. It's a DWG. If I look deep in the DWG, I see that there is a layer with some points here. You see these elevations. Here I see some elevation. Here I see elevations. Here I see elevations. I have a lot of elevations along the road. What I'm gonna do now, I will use this layer to filter or to extract the points here in the DWG. How do I do it? First of all, let's see what it is. I'm clicking on it and doing a list. I see it sits in a layer named MED, and it's a block entity, insert, and it's with a Z value, 55.6. Fine. Then I'm going to general, filtering. I get the filtering window on the right. General filtering. And I get the window on the right. Now it gives me the list of layers and the list of entities. I know it sits in MED and it's a block. I can either pick it from the list or I can even use this, select, go and pick one object and press enter, and automatically it finds that it's in MED and it's in insertion, a block. System did it for me instead of me for picking. That's it. Then I'm telling you, take this and scan the entire layer and put all the coordinates sent to topography. Apply. You can see the scroll bar here. Not the scroll bar, I mean the status bar here. The system now is filtering point. It tells me filtering point, and it's filtering here. Maybe there are many points here because I see it taking time to filter. About to finish. Here it is. This is the list of points which were created. Actually, I see that 1,373 points were filtered. I can see it here. I'm pressing refresh. And that's it. Now it's a regular list of points. I can use it regularly. You see all the points here. You can see it. Everywhere where was a MED block, the system recreated and created its own block with own point. Now I can continue regularly. Topography, contours, 0.25, for example, and apply. The system will create contours. System create contours, let's see. Okay, there are contours. Oh, but see what happened here. There's a problem here, and here, and some here, and here. Some many problems. And the question is why? Let's see this point, for example. Oh, I see the problem. The problem is that the filter gave a result of zero elevation. Okay, you know that CivilCAD, if you remove the elevation, it's okay for the system. It's ignore the point when you do surface. But when it's a zero, it's a different thing. We want to trace it. I'm using locate. I'm selecting the point. Here it is. It's zero. See here. You can find it here. See, it's zero. Now I can go one by one and trace all this zero, but I can do another thing. You see, there are many abnormals here. All these are zero. But I have another option. I'm pressing the find. You see this telescope here, binoculars here? I'm pressing it. It says find. And he asked me what to find. I said, find all the points that have a height, which at most, let's say 3 meters. Well, now we see that the average elevation here is about 54. You see it 54 here, 54, 54. So I want to find all the points that has an elevation which is below 5 meters. At most 5 meters. Find all. Okay. System highlighted this. Let's scroll down. Probably there are more. We know there are more. Oh, some we'll find here. Okay, actually the system highlighted all these points that has a zero elevation. Can close this. Then I mark them as a block. So all the points in the list which are now highlighted, meaning all the points which has a elevation which is lower than zero, are blocked. And I click the eraser. And I click the eraser here. That's it. All of them were removed. I will refresh and recreate the contours. Let's see what happens now. Here it is. Let's see the other place. Yeah, everything was cleaned when on safe ground. You have practice number 5 in the practice which I sent. You can find the practice here in the discussion. It's here. Someone asked me, where is the practice? It was sent here. You can download it. Practice number 5 is exactly about that. If you have any question, this is the time. You can practice later on, practice number 5 by yourself. If you have any question, this is the time, because we're about to close the day. So I'm giving now a free room for anyone to ask question in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Please. This is the time. Look, please, if you have any question, let me know. Any question? None. All right, so I want to thank you everyone for the first day. I hope you hang up. I hope
I have another question.
please go ahead.
Can I get the record of the lesson?
Yes, what we'll do, we'll upload the record into the website and send you the link.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone, any question? This is the time. If not, I think our next session is this Monday, as far as I remember. This coming Monday. No, sorry, Tuesday. Tuesday is session number 2. Tuesday, the 2nd, is session number 2. We start exactly at 10 o'clock.